Hey y'all! Boy, did I have a long day. Oh, my tongue is hanging out. So somebody was sick, so I had to go back to work. I worked from 9 to like 1:30, and then I had to come back at 4. And I worked till closing at 9. So yeah, it was kind of a long day, but I got a lot done at work, which is good. So I was productive there, and so that was good. Yeah, it was kind of a fun day. I'm starting to get the hang of it, and I really like to talk to people and stuff. So now that I kind of know my way around, it's starting to be a lot more fun. So that's really great. And anyway, yeah, and I'm working my way through some of the issues. Um, my boss told me that I have to have my water a certain way, and it's her dealy, so I've got to comply, of course. But I thought I had it worked out, so I was like, ugh. And I'm sure she probably thought I was like resisting her input, but that wasn't it. It's just that I have to drink an amazing amount of water, and a little 24-ounce thing isn't gonna cut it. It just isn't. If I don't drink 125-ish ounces a day, I'm in big trouble. And I get weepy, and so it's not just about me wanting to stay healthy. It's about keeping my mind also, because my brain starts to not work if I'm dehydrated. And I'm at the front desk. I don't want my brain to not work while I'm there. So, yeah. So I think I've got something. And I think I've got it all worked out. So we'll see. Anyway, and I think it's gonna be really good. So, yeah. So I got that. I think that's all settled. But yeah, the only other thing that what I'm doing, sorry, I'm zipping the pinhead a little bit. I'm doing tonight is I'm finishing my manifesto. I actually did the really rough video cut of it last night, and did all the recording of me saying it and putting music to it, and it was really, it was really good, and I timed it all out, and it's all really good. And eventually I'll put it on here, but what I have to do now is I've got to get images to put in with it, and I've got to go to a site and buy them so that I can publish it, because otherwise I can't publish it. And I'm not going to ever be able to make money on it, because the music, if you use Kind Masters music, they make it so, because I think the musicians get the money or something, which is fine with me, because I was a musician. I get it. I don't know. I just know that you can't monetize it. But I really don't want to monetize this channel anyway. That's not what this is about. I mean, I'm happy if people get something out of it that would serve them. But this is really more of a journalideo. It's really more of a journal in video form, and a way for me to keep myself accountable and that kind of stuff. I do talk about MS. I do talk about, what I do, how I manage some things. So, there's some peripheral interest stuff, and how I deal with Tony Robbins stuff, and how I integrate that into my life, and blah, 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 all that stuff. Anyway, but that's about it, and I will let you go. I will talk to you guys later. So tonight I'm finishing up my manifesto. I don't know that I actually wrapped that thought up later, or I mean before, but yeah, so I'm finishing my manifesto and going to get some images and doing all of that work tonight. So I just wanted to give you guys a howdy before I went and finished that, because I didn't want to be doing this at 2 in the morning. So anyway, because then I'm really like, oh. So anyway, okay, you guys have a good night. Take a it's the beginning of the week. I mean, I want you to take good care of yourself and take good care of each other, but that's kind of the sign off one. I don't want to do that now. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Hi, everybody. So I'm waiting for my last session of UHPW. It was a really good night, and I'm just so grateful for the experience. And I finished my manifesto, and I'm probably going to publish it on the channel, so you'll be seeing it, or you will have already seen it. And anyway, that's it for now. I just wanted to come in and say hi and just share my joy a little bit. It's been a really great day, and a lot of my plans went out the window, but it doesn't matter. It was a really great day. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys later, and happy Tuesday. You know, I know it doesn't seem like I'm doing much, but when I went back and looked at some of my videos from when I started this whole thing, you can tell that I've lost weight, and you can tell that my expression's brighter and all those things. So some of those underlying goals that I don't really talk about, like, you know, I have been depressed in my life, and this is part of my willing myself better, you know, and all that. And and I am just so much more physically active now. What a blessing. And but I want to do a side-by-side. So here's my face, but I'm going to try to put my, you know, an older picture there so that you can see, because it's really different. It's really a lot better. So I'm just reminded, the manifesto that I wrote talked about celebrating the things that I'm doing right. Because we're human beings, we tend to focus on what we haven't done yet. It's a way we move on to the next thing that we need to take care of. But if we only do that and do not stop ever to celebrate what is happening well, then we will miss the mark, because we'll lose our momentum, our internal spirit driving us forward. We'll lose it, because it's just, it will feel like you're on a treadmill that you cannot get off of. That simply. But if you stop and celebrate, like when I did the celebration for that, going by that fire hydrant, I stopped and I celebrated it. And one of the reasons that was such a big deal to me wasn't just that I figured it out for that single thing, but also that this is a pattern that I am going to dig into and use as a resource, because it brings me energy. It brings me more momentum, which is huge. You know, when we've all had that when we've been in a flow state and we're just going, right? And that is what I want for my life. That is what I want. And I have some interesting things that I have to work around, but that's what I want. And one of the things that these celebrations are going to happen. And then the other thing that I did some research on today, because I had a day off and I let myself rest. I didn't take my walk until 10 a.m., which I could do because the weather was cooperating. I looked at the weather this morning at 7 and thought, ooh, I could actually sleep in a little bit. I didn't wind up sleeping in, but I did stay in bed till 10. And the stuff that I did research on, look at me getting back to the point. Good for me. That doesn't always happen. Well, anyway, the research that I was doing was on a calendar, because Google Calendar is getting rid of this feature where it lets you schedule a goal, and then that goal you say, I want this goal to happen 3 times a week. and the Google Calendar itself schedules it for you. Well, I was using this so much because there were things that didn't need to happen daily, but I really needed them to happen on a regular basis. But because they didn't happen daily, I was having trouble remembering them. And so as a side benefit for myself, and I'm trying to figure out, anyway, I need a calendar that does this. Now, I found one that works, but it is an Apple product, of course. So, yeah, I may have to switch to an Apple phone. I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, I really didn't want to get a new phone at all because of where I am financially. So I think I'm going to have to figure something else out. One of the things that I can do is I've learned how to use the top portion. I may pop a picture of it in here, but I've learned how to use the top portion of my day, like my day from 12 midnight until when I get up, as a place to store things to trigger my memory. And so I have a bunch of appointments. It looks like I'd never sleep because I've got these appointments through 24 hours of my day. But they're just there as reminders so that, like, the incantations that I use in the morning, sometimes my brain isn't really working when I'm going out. It's my first thing in the morning and I don't want to stress about it. That's not good for my mindset and all that stuff. So I just have it there so I don't have to worry about it. I just look it up on my phone as I'm walking, and then I do my incantations. I am going to start memorizing them by doing some physical action with each individual one. Like right now, what I do when I do the 3 that I do every day, which are 3 new incantations based on beliefs that I worked on at UPW. So the first was a reiteration of the more spectacular, and that one is every day and every way I'm more and more spectacular, right? So that one, I always remember that one. But then the next one, while I'm doing that one, I do each one of them at least 5 times, right? And then while I'm doing that one, I start doing this. Because the next one is, if I stay in my heart, connections are easy. If I stay in my heart, connections are easy. So that is something, that's another incantation that I do. But this physical reminder reminds me. And then I have money's just math, and I'm great with math, right? And for my budgeting and some negative beliefs that I had around money. Anyway, so yeah. So anyway, I use the top of that calendar. Look at me getting back to the point again. 2 times, good for me. Sometimes I go off on a tangent. I look at it later and I'm like, oh my gosh. It's what I deal with constantly. It's very hard to keep yourself on track when your brain does that naturally. Anyway, so I could put things in daily or 3 times a week and have them just sitting in that part of my calendar in my sleeping hours, just as reminders to be placed down into the calendar. I could do that. That's one option, and it may be what I have to do until I find a better option. But I am determined not to buy something until I know, because what I decided was I might need to go ahead and buy a calendar app, which I don't mind doing if it's not too expensive. I don't want a monthly service. I don't want that. I would like to buy it outright. I'd like to buy the app and own the app. But we'll see. Anyway, yeah. So I found a few things, but most of them are for Apple. I have seen a few things. Cozy is one of them. There are a couple. I'll take a pic here and you can see these are the apps that I've been looking at. And, but anyway, that's about it. That's what I've been doing with my day, which is really long-winded. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, take good care of yourself. Or no, this is Wednesday, so I don't do that. You have a good night. Hi there. Talk to you later. So here we are, and it's Thursday night, and I had kind of a hard day at work because I got very dehydrated, and as I think I mentioned before, I get kind of weepy, and so I'm working out better ways to stay hydrated at work. I have this enormous, I'll get it for you so you can see, this enormous water bottle. It's enormous. That's my brother up there. That's my brother in high school. Anyway, yeah, so I've got this enormous water bottle that I'm using, but I got so into my work and so focused on my work that I just didn't do the hydrating I needed to do. So that's where I am. So anyway, yeah, Thursday night, and I am going to be, doing as much as I can to figure out the hydration game, because I either figure this out or they're not going to keep me on, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. So I got to figure it out. So anyway, that's it. I will talk to you tomorrow. Let me do something here to help with the glare. There, that's a little better. Okay, so sorry. So the spa that I'm working at has been under the direction of the owner, but she owns more than one business. So the attention she has been able to give to the spa has been whatever has been available to it, right? So what she had wanted the spa to be and what it is are really two different things. And it's a pretty good spa. But having gone to Tony Robbins' spa in Fiji, which is definitely a 5-star spa. I mean, definitely a 5-star spa. Like, you got your massage in a room, and they weren't playing ocean sounds. They just opened the doors and you got to hear the ocean crashing on the shore. So, my measuring stick for what a 5-star spa is pretty darn high. Now, she wouldn't know that about me at all. She also hasn't taken, not that she needs to, but she hasn't taken any time to talk about it with me either, right? Okay, so, but that's the way you do with employees. I'm like, I don't feel slighted by that. So, but I'm just saying that my opinion is like, yeah, right. They had these beautiful sheet draping routines. I don't even know what they did, but it felt so elegant. And it was just the draping that happened when you would roll over. Yeah, they started you on your stomach, and then there was just something magical that they did, and it was all just, they just pulled up the sheet, but they did it in such a way that it felt kind of sensuous. I don't know how else to explain it, and I don't even remember what they did. I think what they did was just pull the sheet up your back and then fold it back down, so they did it so that the sheet was draping you, but your thighs were exposed because they needed to massage there, right? So anyway, yeah, it just, yeah, it was miraculous. And yeah. So, and the other thing that the spa did And I've talked to one of the massage therapists. They don't like to be called masseuses anymore. If you didn't know that, you should know that. They don't like, I guess there's negative connotation to the word masseuse. Evidently that can connotate something to do with, I don't know. I think they think of those cheap houses that have masseuses, and they're really not masseuses. They're something else, right? Anyway, so massage therapists, but the massage therapists at Tony's Spa, and they called themselves masseuses, by the way. They would have you close your eyes and pick a fragrance to have just a couple drops of essential oil on the face towel underneath your face when you were face down, so that aroma was just like wafting over. It was just, and the experience of him making you close your eyes while you did that was like the beginning of there is a little bit of intimacy in a massage. The person is gonna put their hands on your naked skin, you know? So anyway, it was just a wonderful anticipatory thing, and it was magnificent. It really was. And, yeah, they just had a lot of things. And this spa has a steam room, and it has a sauna, and it has a relaxation room. It doesn't have a pool or anything, but they don't have room for a pool. So that's okay, right? And they have 2 lovely showers. And a changing room. Anyway, but it's a lovely spa. So I'm like excited about the spa. What I'm not excited about, and I don't want to lay this all at the feet of the spa director, because my reaction is my reaction, right? That doesn't mean necessarily that she is doing something wrong, just that, like, my expectations for a boss and my expectations aren't being met, if that makes sense. In other words, and honestly, I shouldn't really have expectations. Except that, okay, so let me just tell you frankly, and I'm sorry this is going to be a little long, because I'm trying to be careful and I'm trying to be fair, and I don't want to, because, this is public record. I admire this lady so much, but I am so intimidated, and I feel like whenever she's around, I'm like frozen, and I am not typically like that around people. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's me. Well, of course it's partially me. It has to be, right? But I'm just not, I don't know if this is something that I need to face and overcome, or something that I just need to get away from. Do you know what I mean? Like, do I just need to find another job and go on my way? I mean, is that what I need to do? Because I'm just not sure. I'm really not sure. Yeah, that's where I am. But I'm not finding work comfortable. The things that they're asking us to do, honestly, might be a little bit past me and the way my cognition is. And so it might be impractical for me or for them to keep me in the position that I'm in. Because what we were doing originally is if we had a customer in front of us, we were not answering the phone. We were letting it go to voicemail and then returning that voicemail immediately. But now what we're doing is putting them on hold, and I mean, even if somebody's in front of us. So somebody's in front of us and I just say, do you mind if I put them on hold quickly? And of course they say yes. And so I put them on hold, but then they could be, my transaction with the person in front of me might take 5 minutes. And it would be, I mean, I really think that, I think the better choice is to actually let it go to voicemail. Because then I can give them my undivided attention. Because the whole time I'm working with the customer in front of me, I'm worried about the person that's on the line waiting for me to get back to them. And then the person in front of me feels that too, because they heard me put the person on hold. And maybe they want to book 3 months of appointments out. Well, that's a 10-minute conversation. That is not a quick thing. I don't agree. I don't agree completely with this. And yet I love that she wants to raise the bar of the spa. She wants to do better things. She wants to do, you know, things. Although the one thing that I would say is it's a really pretty space, but the construction quality is pretty poor. First point, she wants us to be quiet because all the way down the hallway, they can hear us speak. Well, is that because of the marble in the foyer and the acoustics? Or is that because we're actually speaking too loud? So now we're talking like this all the time, and we have to keep our voices low, and we say good morning, and you know, it's like being at church a little bit. And that's okay. I mean, in a way that I get that elevates the spa experience, so I actually don't have too many complaints about that. But I've spent a lot of time in my life learning how to be loud because I was an opera singer, right? So yeah, so I just don't, so anyway, I don't know what happened. So I've just got to figure it out. And that's all I was going to say. Anyway, I love you guys, and I will talk to you tomorrow. I only work from 4 to close tomorrow. So I'll let you know how it went. And yeah. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Hi there. So I had a really good night. Yeah, so it was a really good night at work, and I think just now, I'm not saying that I want to leave my job. I want to be really clear about that. I'm not like wanting to leave. I may have said that last night because I was really kind of under pressure, or I felt like I was under pressure. But honestly, I think just the fact that I knew I could leave has relieved the pressure. Because I don't have to stay. I don't have to stay. I don't have anything to prove to anybody there. And anyway, I am confident that I know who I am. And I'm just going to leave it at that. So anyway, tonight is Saturday night. And I am going to watch some television. And then I'm going to go to bed. And that's going to be it. And I'm still kind of spinning from all this stuff. I feel like I'm so off track, but I have been working very slowly at my schedule. Google has, I think I told you about this already, and forgive me. That's the kind of stuff I can't remember if I said or not. Google has decided to get rid of a thing that I use all the time called goals. And with goals, what you can do is you can say, I want to do this thing 3 times a week. And what you do is you put it in, and then if you can't do it then it schedules it in your vacant times. And with my memory issues, this is like tremendous. This is really great, because like I want to do something 3 times a week, but scheduling things like to absolutely happen is very confining, and I just loved using goals for things like let's say things like my reading stuff. Like I wanted to do this kind of reading 3 times a week, and I wanted to do this other kind of reading like 4 times a week, and and then it would schedule them in, and I would just get things done. And by the end of the week, I had completed all of the things that were goals. And the other thing is it tracked them. So it would say, you've done this 3 times already. You've done this once. You've done this, and I loved the tracking part of it. Anyway, they are eliminating it completely. And so I've made this whole new way to track everything, and it's thrown me for another loop. And I just, it's just where I am. So anyway, so I'm putting the things that I would have as repeated appointments. The things that were goals that Google used to schedule for me, I'm putting as repeated appointments up in my calendar. And when I say up, I mean from like 12 p.m. to like 5 in the morning. And I think I have said this to you before. Anyway, I'm slowly transferring all of them over there and erasing the goals because they're not going to be there. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. So that's been another monkey wrench in the whole thing. But I'm really pretty happy with what I'm accomplishing. I'm not happy that I haven't gotten back to the caregiver stuff and that whole thing. But yeah, but that's where I am for now. So anyway, that's it. Have a good night. Take good care of yourself and take good care of each other.
Made to look.